I just found out that I'm pregnant the night before, and then the next day I lose the baby. Like I'm having a miscarriage. What?
So you do it, and everybody has something to say until you prove them wrong.
Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle Shanae. If you are new here, hello. So today we have Chipotle. Y'all gonna get to know that I absolutely love Chipotle. Like, love it. I love it. I can eat it every other day. Like, for real. But we eating Chipotle today, and we're gonna do a little story time while I'm eating. So let me get myself situated. And you ain't no real Chipotle eater if you don't eat your Chipotle bowl with Doritos. So I got the Cool Ranch Flamin' Hot Doritos, and then I just got the Flamin' Hot. I think I'm starting to like these over these, but it's a must that I have these. It's a must. But I gotta get comfortable because I'm ready to eat, and I gotta sanitize my hands because that's what we do. We don't eat with dirty hands. So y'all don't even understand how bad I want this Chipotle bowl. I'm gonna push my seat back. So let me sanitize my hands. Y'all, I'm so excited to eat this. I haven't had Chipotle in a long time. The last time I had Chipotle was like maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. 4 or 5 weeks ago. That's a long time for me. I'm so excited. I'm on the lot, and I call myself trying to park far away from other people so they won't get close to me, and this man pulled right on the side of me, y'all. I know this is not a good thing, but I tried to take up 2 parking spots so nobody will park next to me. He still parked next to me, but whatever. How's everybody's day? This is Tabasco sauce. I don't really like the vinaigrette. Not a huge fan of it. When we go to Chipotle, I mean, you gotta get a bunch of forks and napkins. It's just a must. I used to go in and grab like, and I don't even know why I did this. I used to go in and grab like 6 forks just to keep in my car. Y'all know how that is. And people always say that Chipotle is expensive, but it's not. My stuff was only $9. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, $9. That's nothing. And I didn't have no discount. It was $9.10 after tax. It came up to $10.04. You spend more than that at McDonald's if you eat McDonald's. But Chipotle is not expensive the way people be making it to be. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I get in my bowl. I get white rice, black beans, and pinto beans. I get chicken, regular chicken. I get just a little bit of pico because I don't really like, is that cilantro in it? I get the hot salsa and the regular salsa. I get fajita veggies, a lot of fajita veggies, a lot of corn, heavy sour cream. That's a must. I love sour cream. I don't like my food to be dry. Heavy sour cream, shredded cheese, and lettuce. That's it. And this thing is heavy. It is so heavy. This is my bowl. Chipotle. Now, I may not eat all of these. Let me pray over my food. Amen. All right. She gave me like just a little bit of lettuce though. Y'all. This is so good. Have you ever like craved for something so bad and then when you got it, it just hit the spot? That's what's going on right now. My camera is not focusing. All right, y'all. So I said I was gonna do a story time of how me and my husband lost our baby the day before Thanksgiving. We lost our baby the day before Thanksgiving. And you talking about devastated? I was devastated. I had just found out I was pregnant the night before, which was crazy. Me and my husband had been trying to have a baby for years, y'all. Years. And I mean, I was like frustrated because everything I was trying to do was not working. I just kept trying and trying, and like I was taking vitamins and different type of natural medication and stuff, and it just was not working. And so I was like super frustrated. After trying for so long, I just was like, forget about it. I'm just gonna let it happen when it happened and stop trying. And I kid y'all not, when I did that, that's when it happened. So I didn't pay attention to my cycle because I was always irregular. So that wasn't like a red flag to me, because some months I wouldn't come on, some months I would. So it wasn't like, oh, I may be pregnant. I didn't think that. I just thought, okay, this is what my body normally does, and so, you know, whatever. So I told my husband, I'm like, well, I didn't come on this month. And he was like, maybe you should take a pregnancy test. And I'm saying, for what? Like, I know I'm not gonna be pregnant, so ain't no point in me taking it. I just didn't want to get my hopes up, you know. Person that's struggling for years, and you try and you try, and it don't ever work. You know, I'm not putting myself in that place to be happy just to make myself be sad. You know what I'm saying? So he told me to take the test, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna come on next month. This is just what normally happen, you know. So I ended up, this was like two weeks after he had said take the pregnancy test. Now I went to the store and got a pregnancy test without him knowing, just so I could see, you know. I'm like, okay, after he said it, I just started thinking about it, like, what if I am? Like, it ain't gonna hurt. Let me just go try. Let me just go see. So, excuse me, I went to the store and picked up a test or whatever, and got home, and I ended up taking the test maybe like 3 days later after I bought it, because I was still in denial. Like, not in denial, but I was still like not thinking that it would be a positive test. Because I was saying to myself, look, I went and bought this test, it's gonna be negative, so whatever. So I took the test. Okay, I was in the bathroom for almost an hour, scared to take it. So when I finally did, I took the test, and I had told my husband when I came out the bathroom, I was like, he was in the house doing something. I said, well, I took your advice and I took the test, and he was like, okay, so what is it? So I was like, I'm not pregnant. Like that. He was like, okay, well, at least you know. But I was actually pregnant, y'all. I was trying to keep a secret because I was so, like, first of all, I was shocked because I'm like, what? Like, I'm pregnant. Like, there's no way this is finally happening. Like, I'm really pregnant. And so I wanted it to be like super big. Like, I was so excited. So I was like, let me surprise my husband, because this would be a perfect gift for him. My husband's birthday is on the 27th of November. So it would have been perfect for him, you know, as a gift. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play it cool, act like the test was negative, and then on his birthday, surprise him and tell him that I am pregnant. So I had it all like mapped out. So, you know, I went on about my day. Well, not day, because I had took the pregnancy test that night. So I contemplated all day. That morning when I was at work, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this test. And I took the test like late. It had to be maybe 6 or 7 that night when I took it. So I had went to bed or whatever, and I'm the whole time like I'm super giddy, excited. I'm like, oh wow, I can't believe like God really answered my prayers. Like, we finally pregnant. I'm just thinking about all the times that I tried and couldn't. And I'm like, my husband gonna be so happy. He gonna be so happy when he find out. I was just thinking of all this stuff. And so I got up the next morning. Keep in mind, this is 2 days before Thanksgiving. So I go into work that morning. Now I picked up an early shift, and I think I went into work at like 5 or 6 that morning. So I was the only person there, and I worked at a children's hospital at the time. And so I would like just go in and check in surgery patients. So I got there super early, and that particular day, again, this is the day before Thanksgiving, so we was getting off early. The clinic was closing at around 11 or 12. So I got there at 5:36, and I was working like I always do. Only one there again, I'm saying. So I was just, you know, vibing or whatever, listening to music, and I noticed that my stomach started cramping. My stomach started cramping really bad, and I was like, just kind of thrown up. I'm like, is this normal? Like, cause it felt like period cramps, and I'm like, is this normal? Should I be alarmed? I was just like really confused. I didn't know what to do. So I'm like, okay, let me not think too deep in it, you know. Let me just kind of, you know, play it cool. If it keep happening, I'll, you know, make adjustments or whatever. So 45 minutes had went by, and my stomach started cramping again, but this time it was like intense. It was like really, really bad cramps, like to the point where I couldn't bear them. Like it was hurting so bad where it had me slouched over. So I'm like, okay, this is not normal. I said, well, maybe, like, I was trying to remember what I ate the night before, and I said, well, maybe I got to use the bathroom. So I had put a note on my desk. Again, like I told y'all, I was there by myself, so I put a note on my desk just in case anybody had walked up to my desk. And so I put a note on my desk, went to the bathroom, thinking that I had to, you know, go take care of my business. And so when I went to the bathroom, y'all, it was blood everywhere. Like blood, heavy blood. And in that moment, I just didn't know how to feel. My heart was beating so fast. I was like, I don't think this is normal to be bleeding this bad while you're pregnant. And it was early on, you know. I know I couldn't have been no more than 4 or 5 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking. So I'm like, this is not normal. I shouldn't be this heavy. Like, it should just be like spotting or something, right? So I didn't have anybody there. I was by myself. Nobody was there. So I had covered myself like by putting tissue down there. And then I went back to my desk to get me a pad. So I went back to my desk to get a pad. And sorry y'all, I don't talk about this a lot, and it's just bringing up a lot of feelings that I had before. Never really talked about this to people. So I went to my desk to go get a pad, just to, you know, so I wouldn't have to, you know, mess up my clothes or whatever. So go back in the bathroom, put a pad on, boom, I'm good. So go back to my desk, and I mean, when I say the cramps, the pain was like somebody was taking my stomach and just like twisting my stomach. Like, that's how it felt. It was so painful. So I had end up calling my manager and telling her that I needed to leave. And I'd asked her, I said, do I have to tell you why I'm leaving? I said, I have an emergency, I need to leave. And she was like, no, you don't have to tell me, but it'll be a minute because, you know, I wasn't due to come in until, you know, this certain time. And so I said, that's fine. So then I end up telling her so she can understand how serious it was. I didn't want her to feel like I was just trying to get off from working or whatever, because that's one thing about me. Like, if I have a job, I'm gonna work my job. Like, I'm not no lazy type of worker, and I like to be honest. And so I just told her, I was like, I think I'm having a miscarriage, so I really need to leave. So she was like, okay, I'll be there, give me like 30 minutes, okay? And so I was like, okay. So I'm trying to hold out, y'all, really trying to hold out. So in that time frame, I called one of my friends and I called my cousin, just to ask them, like, I think, you know what, I think I called my cousin just to ask, like, is this normal? Is it supposed to happen? And she was so nice about it. She was trying not to, and I'm so appreciative of that. She just wanted me to stay positive in the whole situation. So She was like, it doesn't mean that you having a miscarriage just because you see blood. It could be a number of things. And so my crazy self, I started Googling it, and Google, you know, was giving me mixed answers or whatever. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait until my manager get here. Then after that, I'm gonna go ahead and go and head up to the hospital. So I called my husband. I didn't tell him while I was at work what was going on. I had called him once my manager got there to relieve me. I got in the car and I started driving home. And I called him. He had just made it to work. Like I told you, I got to work at like 5:36. So he had just got to work at like 8 o'clock. And so I called him and I'm like, hey, we have a problem. You know how, you know, you had me to take a pregnancy test yesterday, and I told you that it was negative. I say, it really was a positive test. I wanted to surprise you. I said, but when I got to work today, I started cramping really bad and I had heavy bleeding. And so I was like, I need you to come home and get me, and we need to go to the hospital. So he was kind of like stunned, because again, he didn't know. He's just finding out. And I'm just finding out the day before. So just imagine how we both are feeling. Just imagine. Ugh. But he was like, okay, it'll be a minute. Give me 15-20 minutes and I'll meet you at home. So okay, I'm like, okay. So then I called my friend and I talked to her on the phone, and she was, you know, just trying to be positive to me as well. So I get home, I changed my pad again. Now I wanted to take a bath, but then I'm like, I don't think that's smart to do, because they may have to, you know, whatever. So I just cleaned myself up down there, and I know I'm being so graphic, but I cleaned myself up and put on another pad. Waited for my husband to get there, and I was shaking, y'all. I was shaking because I'm like, what in the world? Like, what? Like, I just found out I was pregnant. I just found out that I'm pregnant the night before, and then the next day I lose the baby. Like, I'm having a miscarriage. What? This sounds like a Lifetime movie. I was just like, I can't believe this. Like, is this real? Am I getting punked? That's what it felt like. Just find out I was pregnant the night before, only to wake up the next day and have a miscarriage. But my husband ended up coming to the house. He hugged me and was asking me, was I okay? And in that moment, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I didn't know how to really feel, you know? So we make it to the hospital, and this story gonna be long, I'm sorry. We make it to the hospital, whatever. They get me in, take me straight back. Now keep in mind, I don't know what I was thinking. I went to urgent care because I just didn't want to be in the hospital, like the ER, because y'all know how ERs are. Like, you be waiting forever, and I just didn't want to change this. So I'm like, let me go to urgent care. I'll get back real quick. Like, they'll call my name and I'll go see somebody real fast. But you know, I got to urgent care. They saw me really fast, and so once we got there, they was asking me questions or whatever, and they had me to take a urine sample. So I went to the bathroom, and I was telling the lady, I'm like, I don't think this would be a good idea because I'm like bleeding really heavy. And she was like, well, that's the only way we'll be able to know, you know, what's going on. So I go back to take the urine sample, and Y'all, when I say so graphic, it was terrible. I was bleeding so bad to where you couldn't even see my urine. Like, that's how bad it was. And that's how, like, in that time I knew. I said, oh, it's over. There's no more baby. There's no more baby. I'm losing my baby. I'm having a miscarriage. That's what I was saying. I am having a miscarriage because this is not normal. So it was so bad, y'all. I was like calling for help from one of the nurses because I needed a pad, because I'm like, at this point, I am going to mess up my clothes. That's how bad this is. So do y'all know that the hospital, I mean, the place that I was at, they didn't have none of that there. Do you know they was going around asking the nurses and the workers in the facility, did they have some in their purses? I said that blew me. That blew me. I was so mad. So after we was there or whatever, they didn't have anything for me. So again, I had to wrap tissue down there. So they tell us, okay, we can't help you. What we have to do is send you across the street to get an ultrasound. So we go across the street. I'm trying to make this story short. We go across the street to the ER. Now, they was okay. It didn't take them that long to get me and take me to the back. So they had me do the same thing. No, they took me to the back and they took blood samples or whatever from me. And instantly they put me in a holding spot. They put me in a room. And then they had me to take off all my clothes. We did a ultrasound of a vaginal ultrasound, just to see if you know everything was still there, and waiting for the results. And I think I was there for probably 2 hours. I was at the ER for 2 hours. And around that time, it was COVID time, y'all. It was COVID time. So y'all know, y'all remember that time your relatives or whoever family members couldn't go back with you. So I was in the hospital room, terrified. You know, I'm already discombobulated, frustrated, scared, and my husband couldn't be back there with me. I said, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. I'm having a miscarriage, and my husband can't be back here holding my hand. They wouldn't let him come back. He had to stay in the car. So I had to talk to him just on the phone. So I was all alone. Talk about traumatic. So they finally released me, whatever. I talked to the doctor, and he was just telling me that it just sounded like I had a miscarriage, and they don't have answers for, you know, when women have miscarriages, like, it's not really a reason. It just happens sometimes. And he was telling me not to beat up on myself and not to feel like, you know, I'm incapable, you know, of caring. But I took it like that, because I'm like, I've tried for this long, and then when I finally do get pregnant and then I lose the baby, like, what is that saying? Something is wrong with my body. But he kept telling me not to feel that way and don't look at it that way. So he told me that they were going to schedule for me to give more blood work the day after Thanksgiving, just to see if my levels go down or up or something like that, and it'll show if I was still pregnant, and if so, they would have to go in and scrape everything out. And I forget what this called. It's called a DNC. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, y'all, this was all the day before Thanksgiving. The day before, where I'm supposed to be happy, you know, a good time of the year, be around my family, you know what I'm saying? And this happened. And so that same day, I think we had got home around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. My husband had got me some food, and I changed clothes, took a shower. I took a shower, changed clothes, and he just told me to lay down, you know, take a nap and get some rest a little. I was supposed to go to my parents' house, and that was a tradition. Every year we would go to my parents' house, and we would all just sit around and help cook, or help mama bake pies or something like that. So that particular night when we got over there, nobody knew. They didn't suspect anything, but I just came out and told them, because you could tell, like, on my arm I had just gave blood work and blah blah blah, and I think my mom had asked me, and I just kind of like told my siblings and my parents, like, hey y'all, I just lost the baby. Like, I just found out I was pregnant last night, but then when I got to work today, I had a miscarriage. And so everybody was just being very, very loving and encouraging. And my sister, she was like, Michelle, you a different type of breed, because she was like, when you go through stuff, you never show it. You are always just so strong. And I wanted to tell her so bad, like, it hurt. When I go through certain things, it absolutely hurts. But in a way, I always try to look at a reason behind why it's all happening. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I keep a smile on my face and just keep it pushing. But that was so traumatic. Like, and they were just loving on me and stuff. And we got through that night. Thanksgiving Day, I broke it off to my nieces and nephews, and they were so sad. They was like, oh my God, because I'm the last one to have children out of my sisters. And so my nieces and nephews, they were just like patiently waiting until that day. They were waiting, like, we can't wait until TT Shell have a baby. And so when I told them, I'm like, hey y'all, TT Shell lost her baby yesterday, so I'm just letting y'all know. But guess what, we gonna try again, and we gonna have another baby. So told them Thanksgiving was beautiful. I'm gonna try to find a picture of myself on Thanksgiving Day, but I was dolled up, like you couldn't even tell. Like, I was glowing. But I just kept trying to have like a positive outlook on it, not to be so down and depressed, and so much so where it kind of made me depressed, because I was faking it. Like, I kept trying to tell myself it's okay, but it really wasn't okay. It's all right to say you are not okay. And in that moment, all I had to do was say, Michelle, you are not okay, but you will be okay. So fast forward, after that, we went to the hospital to get the blood work done, to see if everything was gone, if I needed to get the procedure done. And everything came back okay, and I didn't have to get the procedure. But when I tell y'all, that experience was so hard for me. Me and my husband really didn't even talk about it. That's how traumatizing it was, because that was crazy. Who finds out that they are pregnant the night before, and then only to wake up the next day and lose the baby after you have been trying for years? That whole experience was crazy, but God has blessed me. He blessed me after that situation to have my beautiful baby girl. Not long after that, I got pregnant with my rainbow baby, Miss Carter J Douglas, and she will be 3 next week. She'll be 3 December the 11th. So I just give God glory and thanks to him, because he kept me, he carried me through that situation. It could have been, a completely different way, and I could have been like depressed, but he allowed me to heal from that, and he blessed me after that to conceive. And so I'm forever grateful. So if you come across this video and you sit and watch this whole video, and I know it's long, 40-minute long video, it's probably longer than that, I just pray that if you are trying to conceive, or if you have been in a situation like that where you've had losses and you haven't had a chance to get pregnant and birth a child yet, keep holding on, keep believing. I know if God did it for me, he can do it for you too. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed my little story time. And as I always say, don't forget to like this video, hit the thumbs up, make sure you are commenting down below, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can be notified every single time I upload. And yeah, y'all, until next time, I will see y'all on the next video. Bye. Look at my bowl. I can't finish it, I ate too much. Bye bye.